Alright guys, let's talk about the day 2 of the final countdown to CET 16. Now as I mentioned yesterday that we're going to do some concept videos. So today's concept is a very important concept called data sufficiency. Okay. Now this concept comes for at least 5 to 10 marks. You may have 5 marks in both, quant and LR section. Okay. Otherwise you may have 5 marks in one of the sections. But this will become the most important section when it comes to CET, when it comes to something called as a high speed, high accuracy area. However, currently a lot of people usually have high speed, however low accuracy. The accuracy goes for a toss when it comes to data sufficiency because they don't know the basics of data sufficiency and how do you exactly go about answering a question. Alright, keep one thing in mind when it comes to data sufficiency. All you got to know is the concept and you don't have to find the answer. Alright, so let's have a look at the video. So the video that will follow will help you understand what exactly data sufficiency is and make your life a little simple, and you can grab this 5 to 10 marks in a matter of around 2 to 2.5 minutes. Alright, let's have a look at this.
Data sufficiency is about, it's a very easy section. 5 questions, you should take not more than 2 minutes. 120 seconds, not even 120, 90 seconds for 5 questions. Okay, which means 18 seconds per question. Okay, 2 things to keep in mind. One is look at the data alone first, look at the statements alone first, and try to get the answer. If you get the answer by alone, that's precisely the answer. If you do not get, then combine and check. There are 2 types of data sufficiency question. One is the WH question, one is the is question. Now when you have a what, which, whatever, who, blah blah blah, here you have to get the answer. When you have an is question, here is just to confirm whether it is going to be yes or no. Okay, the consistency of this will get you the answer. So if everything is yes, data is sufficient to answer. But if one of them is yes and one of them is no, it is still dicey. So if I say, is x more than 5? I'm just giving you a quant example. Is x more than 5? And if I have x cube is 216, statement 1, and x square is 36, statement 2. In the previous case, I get x is 6, which means yes, it is true. Only I got a yes, sufficient to answer. Here the answer can be plus 6 minus 6. So I'll say yes for plus 6, no for minus 6, which means this cannot answer my question. If I have x cube is 64 as the third statement, so x is plus 4, is it more than 5? No. But it still answers, it gives a unique answer, which means sufficient. But if I say x square is 16, x is plus or minus 4, is it more than 5? Plus 4 is also not more than 5, minus 4 is also not more than 5. In both of them I get a no, that is why it is still sufficient to get the answer. Do you understand this? So in is question, the idea is about answering whether it is yes or no. If you have a yes and no together, it is not sufficient. But if you have only yeses and only no's, it is sufficient. Clear? What is just about answers. So precisely in logical reasoning data sufficiency, you'll have what kind of questions. For example, in the first one, what, who and all that. Who among Meera, Jyoti, Pinky, Sadhana is all. Look at the first statement. When you look at the first statement, look at that statement only. Don't look at the second statement for now. Meera is not as tall as Pinky or Sadhana. So Meera is not as tall as Pinky. She can be equal to them. She can be lesser. So we cannot really make a judgment in the first statement because we don't know the fourth lady's status. Jyoti is taller than Sadhana in the second statement. So Jyoti is taller than Sadhana. We cannot answer using this also because we only know 2 people's status. If we merge this up, I get Meera, Sadhana, Jyoti somewhere here, but I still don't know where is P is here or P is here. So Pinky I have no idea about. So the answer is the statement cannot be answered in spite of using both of them. So the answer is 4. Are we clear? So you look at them individually. This is a area where you have high speed and a miserable accuracy. Okay, very low accuracy. Okay, so don't be in a hurry. Just follow these rules. Look at first statement alone. Look at second statement alone. Then try to merge it. And even then you don't get the answer. Then mark cannot be determined. Let's move ahead. Next question. How is N related to M? O is the husband of N. So I know one thing. O is a male, N is a female. That's the only thing I can infer from this because I want N and M. I did not get M here. One is not alone. Sufficient. Z, who is a sister of brother of M, is a daughter of N. Let's look at that alone. Z is a sister of brother of M. So M's brother, sister, M's brother, sister is Z, which means Z is M's sister. So Z is a female. Who's the daughter of N? Daughter of N. So I know one thing. I know one thing. I know one thing. I know one thing. I know one thing here. N is a parent of M. But I cannot really say what relationship they have. It's a mother, father, what? Daughter of N, right? That is second. I'm looking at the second one alone right now. Now combine. Let's say combine. O is the husband of N. I know N is a female now. So N is M's mother. So the answer is, the question can be answered by combining both 5. That's why you have the accuracy trip here. Next question. Got the point? B is a sister of A. How is A related to B? Now B is a sister. A can be a brother. A can be a sister. We just need to know A's gender. Let's see where do we find A's gender. A is the only son. Perfect. One can answer. A has 2 sisters. Cannot answer. So the answer is 1. You will have a lot of blood relationship data sufficiency here. Got the point? Since B is a sister already, we have to just find A's gender. And A's gender we get by only son. 5 blood relation. Yeah, I'm sure. How is X related to W? X to W. V is a husband of X. Now these things will determine genders only. Okay, V is a husband of X, so X becomes a female. V is a male. Cannot do much because there's no W here. W is a brother of Z and Z's mother is X. So W is a brother of Z. Brother of Z, male, and Z's mother is X, female. You got the relationship of X and W? So the answer is 2 alone. We don't need the first statement at all. Yeah, thank you. Is this college co-ed? Is this college co-ed? There are more female teachers than male teachers. Doesn't matter. A girl known to me was the topper of this college. Doesn't matter. So the answer is 4. ये क्या कहाँ से आया पता नहीं मुझे. So it can be a girls' college too, right? Don't be so like chauvinist. That's what. Don't be a chauvinist. You can have girls' schools. See, that's what the problem is. You yourself want to give the privilege. Okay. How is A related to B? A is sister-in-law of C, who is a daughter-in-law of B, who is a wife of D. Start from behind. B is a wife of D. So B is a wife of D. D is a male. B is a female. C is the daughter-in-law of B. Daughter-in-law of B means this guy's son's wife is C. A is the sister-in-law of C. Yeah. Sister-in-law of C means this guy's sister. So A is the daughter of B. So the answer is 1 is sufficient to answer the question. Let's see 2. Let's see 2 also. You should not ignore 2. Okay, if 1 gets the answer, doesn't mean you ignore 2. B is the mother of A's son's only uncle's son. A's son, sorry. A's son is A's son. Only uncle will be A's brother. Brother's son will be cousin. and B is the mother of this guy. I'll repeat this. A's son is this guy. His uncle is going to be this guy's brother. And his son is going to be this guy's cousin. And who is B? Is the mother of this guy. Hmm? So, relationship between A and B cannot be found out here because of A's gender. Yeah, A's gender is the issue. Okay? Because you don't know A's gender. So the answer is 1 is sufficient, 2 is not. Keep in mind, the relationship in the former case was of a mother and a son. It is not necessary that in the latter case it will be true. It will be true. It can be brother also. Anything is possible. So treat them separately. That's what I started with. Okay. So 1 and 2 should be considered separate. You may have A is a mother of B in the first case. A is a daughter of B in the other case. Okay. But here you did not know A's gender, by the way. That was the only issue. That's okay. Both are sufficient. Both are standalone sufficient, independently sufficient. Amongst A, B, C, D, E, F, each having a different height, who is the shortest? So you have different height, A, B, C, D, E, F. Let's see who is the shortest. C is taller than D. C is shorter than only B. So C is precisely after B. And nobody is above C. They can be equal. Keep in mind. A is taller than D and F. Only D and F. So A can be only about D and F. So they are not connected at all. So the answer is 4. Cannot make it out. They don't have any common point. Are we clear? Alright. 44th. Point X is in which direction with respect to point Y? So there are 2 points mentioned. Point Z is equidistant from both X and Y. Now in this case, X and Y can be in this way, line segment also, and Z in between. Fair. Possible. It can be the other way around also, right angle also. It can be an equilateral triangle also. Anything. Walking 5 kilometers. So one cannot answer the question. Walking 5 kilometers east of point X. So let's say X, we have moving 5 kilometers east and taking 2 consecutive right turns. So first right turn will be where? Down. And then? Left. Leads to Y. So you move 5 right, 5 left, and you reach Y. Where is Y with respect to X? You can find out. It is down. Okay? It is south. So the answer is 2 can answer and 1 cannot. Are we clear? Next question. How is must written in a code language? You must see is blah blah blah. Did you see is so and so, and that code language. So you see can be removed and you'll get must. So only 1. Wait a minute. Don't say only 1. Let's say we have 2 as well. Oh, there's no must. But on which day of the week does Aarti's birthday fall? Sonu remembers correctly. Aarti's birthday falls after Wednesday but before Sunday. So it can be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Raj remembers correctly. Aarti's birthday falls before Friday but after Tuesday. So it can be Wednesday, Thursday. What is the answer? Thursday? Both are required. Answer? 5. How many marbles does Sanjay have? Sanjay has 3 times more marbles than Ahmed. Ahmed, first statement cannot answer. Ahmed has 1/3 number of marbles as Suresh, who has as many marbles as Sanjay. Same thing again. So the answer is 4. Cannot answer. Rest, you can try by yourself. It's very simple. Let's move to the next topic. Circular arrangement.